Spain have done it. Portugal 0, Spain 1. A late goal, a tense Iberian derby, a tactical battle full of nerves, discipline, missed chances, and one decisive moment in stoppage time. Spain are through to the quarterfinals of the FIFA World Cup 2026. Portugal are out, and for Cristiano Ronaldo, this may have been the final World Cup match of his legendary career. This was not a match full of goals. It was not a wild, open game from the first minute. It was not the kind of match where both teams attacked without fear and left huge spaces everywhere. No, this was a knockout match between two football nations that know each other too well. Portugal and Spain played with caution, with tension, and with the clear understanding that one mistake could destroy everything. And in the end, that is exactly what happened. One moment, one quick free kick, one pass from Ferran Torres, one finish from Mикель Merino, and Spain won the match. Before kickoff, the story was massive. Portugal came into the game after beating Croatia, with Cristiano Ronaldo still leading the attack and chasing one more deep World Cup run. Roberto Martinez started with Cristiano Ronaldo, João Felix, and Pedro Neto in attack, with Bruno Fernandes, Vitinha, and João Neves behind them. Portugal had experience, technical quality, and dangerous players in every line. Spain came into the game with confidence, discipline, and one of the most exciting young teams in the tournament. Luis de la Fuente trusted the same starting lineup that had beaten Austria, with Unai Simon in goal, Rodri and Pedri controlling midfield, Dani Olmo between the lines, and Lamine Yamal bringing danger from the right side. The stage was ready. Portugal against Spain, Ronaldo against a new Spanish generation, experience against youth, power against control, and from the first minutes, the match was tight. Spain wanted possession. That was expected. They tried to move the ball calmly, use Rodri and Pedri to control the rhythm, and create danger through Lamine Yamal, Dani Olmo, and Mikel Oyarzabal. Portugal, on the other hand, were not interested in pressing blindly. They stayed compact, waited for moments to counterattack, and tried to use the speed of Pedro Neto and the movement of João Felix around Cristiano Ronaldo. The opening minutes showed exactly what kind of match this would be. Spain had the ball, but Portugal were dangerous whenever they won it back. Portugal had some early moments. João Cancelo found space on the right and tried a shot toward the top corner. Cristiano Ronaldo also had an early chance from a tight angle after Portugal stole the ball and moved quickly into Spain's defensive third. Unai Simon had to stay alert. But Spain also threatened early. Mikel Oyarzabal tested Diogo Costa from distance. Lamine Yamal started to drift inside and look for his left-footed curling shots. Spain were not creating huge chances, but they were slowly trying to force Portugal deeper. Then came one of the biggest moments of the first half. Lamine Yamal cut inside and curled a dangerous shot toward the far post. Diogo Costa produced a very important save. The rebound fell toward Alex Baena, and again, Portugal survived. It was a massive double moment for Spain, and a warning for Portugal. Yamal was starting to find rhythm. Every time he received the ball on the right, Nuno Mendes had to be perfect. And for much of the match, Mendes was excellent. His duel with Yamal was one of the most important battles on the pitch. Mendes used his pace, strength, and timing to stop Spain's young star from dominating too easily. Portugal's best first-half chance came through Nuno Mendes himself. He cut inside and hit a powerful shot that forced Unai Simon into a big save, with the ball going onto the bar and away. That was Portugal's clearest warning to Spain. They were not just defending. They could hurt Spain with speed and power. Ronaldo also came close after a cross from Pedro Neto and a header back from João Felix. The angle was difficult, but Ronaldo still managed to create danger with a quick touch toward goal. Again, Unai Simon reacted well. At halftime, the score was 0-0, and that result told the story perfectly. Both teams had moments, both goalkeepers had work to do, but neither side had been clean enough in the final action. Spain had possession, but not enough penetration. Portugal had dangerous transitions, but not enough control. The second half started with the same tension. Portugal tried to be more direct. Bruno Fernandes looked for early passes. Pedro Neto attacked space. Ronaldo stayed central, waiting for one moment inside the box. Spain tried to remain patient. Rodri kept the ball moving. Pedri looked for pockets between the lines. Dani Olmo tried to receive and turn. Lamine Yamal kept looking for isolation against the left side of Portugal's defense. But the match remained cagey. It became clear that both teams were afraid of making the first major mistake. This was the biggest reason the match did not open up earlier. Portugal knew that if they pushed too many players forward, Spain could punish them with quick combinations. Spain knew that if they lost the ball in midfield, Portugal could counterattack through Neto, Felix, or Ronaldo. So the game became a battle of patience, a battle of small details, a battle of discipline. Then came an important moment for Portugal. Nunu Mendeš had to leave the match through injury. That changed the right side of Spain's attack. For most of the match, Mendeš had been one of Portugal's strongest players, especially in his duel with Yamal. Once he left, Spain began to find slightly more confidence on that flank. Yamal had more room to receive. Spain had more freedom to circulate the ball, and Portugal's defensive balance became less comfortable. Still, Portugal fought. They stayed organized. Ruben Dias led the defensive line. Diogo Costa remained calm. Bruno Fernandes kept trying to find the killer pass. Ronaldo kept asking for service, waiting for one cross, one rebound, one chance. But Spain were slowly becoming the better team in the final stage. They were not spectacular, but they were more composed. And that composure became decisive in stoppage time. In the 91st minute, Portugal switched off for 1 second. Spain took a free kick quickly. Ferran Torres received the ball and played it into the danger area. Micel Merino arrived and finished with his left foot at the near post. Portugal 0, Spain 1. A last-gasp goal, a devastating moment for Portugal, a perfect knockout moment for Spain. It was not a long passing move. It was not a beautiful team goal built from 30 passes. It was about intelligence, speed of thought, awareness, a quick restart. Portugal were caught sleeping, and Spain punished them. This is knockout football. Sometimes the match is decided not by who dominates for 90 minutes, but by who stays awake in the 1 second that matters. After the goal, Portugal had no time to think. They had to attack immediately. They threw players forward. They sent crosses into the box. They looked for Ronaldo. They looked for chaos. They looked for one final chance to save the match. And they almost had it. Bernardo Silva had a huge chance with a header from close range in added time. It was the kind of moment Portugal will replay again and again. One clean contact, one better direction, and the match could have gone to extra time. But the chance went away. Spain survived. The final whistle came. Portugal 0, Spain 1. Spain are through. Portugal are eliminated. Now let's talk about the goal. The winning goal from Micel Merino was not only about finishing, it was about concentration. Spain understood the moment faster than Portugal. Ferran Torres reacted quickly, played the decisive ball, and Merino attacked the space with perfect timing. Portugal's mistake was mental. They switched off. They were not ready. They expected the game to slow down, but Spain accelerated at the perfect time. That is why Spain deserved credit. They stayed patient for 90 minutes, and when the chance came, they were ruthless. For Spain, the biggest positive is maturity. This is a young team, but they did not play like a naive team. They did not panic when Portugal created chances. They did not lose their structure. They trusted their style, stayed patient, and waited for the moment. The second positive is defensive discipline. Portugal had Ronaldo, João Felix, Pedro Neto, Bruno Fernandes, and attacking quality everywhere. But Spain did not allow Portugal to create many clean chances. Unai Simon made important saves, the defenders stayed compact, and Rodri helped protect the center. The third positive is game management. Spain controlled the emotional rhythm better than Portugal in the second half. They kept the ball, moved Portugal around, and slowly waited for weakness. The fourth positive is Lamine Yamal. Even though he did not score, his influence was important. He forced Portugal to defend carefully, stretch their shape, and became more dangerous after Nuno Mendeš left the pitch. But Spain also have things to improve. They need to create more clear chances from open play. For long periods, they had possession without enough penetration. Against stronger opponents, they may need more directness and more runs behind the defensive line. They also need better finishing. Oyarzabal and Baena had moments. Yamal threatened, but Spain had to wait until stoppage time to score. That can be dangerous in knockout football. Now let's talk about Portugal. Portugal's biggest positive was defensive organization for most of the match. They stayed compact, frustrated Spain, and had good individual performances, especially from Nuno Mendeš before his injury and Diogo Costa in goal. Another positive was their transition threat. When Portugal won the ball and attacked quickly, they looked dangerous. Pedro Neto's speed caused problems. João Felix connected some important moves, and Ronaldo still found small moments inside the box. But Portugal's problems were clear. The first problem was lack of sustained control. Portugal had dangerous moments, but they did not control enough long spells of the match. They often relied on transitions and crosses rather than building consistent pressure. The second problem was final third quality. Ronaldo needed better service. Bruno Fernandes needed more space. João Felix and Pedro Neto had flashes. But Portugal did not produce enough clear chances to win a match like this. The third problem was concentration. The goal they conceded in the 91st minute was painful because it was avoidable. At this level, you cannot switch off on a free kick. Not for 1 second, not against Spain. And the fourth problem was emotional pressure. As the match went on, Portugal seemed to carry the weight of the occasion. The possible final World Cup game for Ronaldo, the derby pressure, the fear of losing late, all of it made the final minutes heavier. For Cristiano Ronaldo, this was a painful ending. If this was truly his final World Cup match, it ends not with a goal, not with a celebration, but with frustration. He tried. He moved inside the box. He looked for chances. He demanded the ball. But Spain managed to keep him away from the decisive moment. But it makes the ending emotional. A legendary World Cup career may have ended with a narrow defeat against Portugal's biggest neighbor. For Spain, the advice is clear. Celebrate the win, but improve the attack. They showed maturity, patience, and defensive control. But in the quarterfinals, they will need to create more. They cannot always wait until stoppage time. They need sharper combinations, more movement in the box, and more clinical finishing. For Portugal, the advice is painful but simple. Rebuild with courage. This team has talent. Vitinha, João Neves, Nuno Mendeš, Pedro Neto, João Felix, Bruno Fernandes. There is quality everywhere. But Portugal must develop a clearer attacking identity beyond relying on Ronaldo's presence and individual moments. In the end, this was a classic knockout derby. Tense, tactical, nervous, physical, and decided by one late mistake. Portugal had chances. Spain had patience. Portugal switched off. Spain punished them. Final score: Portugal 0, Spain 1. Micel Merino scores in the 91st minute. Spain move into the quarterfinals. Portugal go home. And the World Cup says goodbye to one of its greatest icons, possibly for the final time. Spain survive the Iberian derby. Spain march on, and Portugal are left with heartbreak.